It's the Bulls Podcast, episode 47.
Hey, Chicago Bulls fans! It's time for your Bulls Podcast. Here are your hosts, Marcus Couch and Wyse Black.
Welcome to the Bulls Podcast, coming to you from bullspodcast.com. This is where we bring you the latest news, reviews, rants, rumors, and opinions on the players, coaches, and front office of the Chicago Bulls. My name is Marcus Couch, and with me is my co-host, Mr. Wyse Black.
What's up, Marcus? What's up to all my Bull lifers out there, man? Super excited to speak with you guys, so let's get into it.
Okay, we got some Bulls versus Grizzlies rundown. We finally strung 2 wins in a row. We'll go over that one. The state of the Bulls, Gar on the outs. We'll talk about that and a couple other things in the rumor mill and share some game predictions for the coming week. We'll be right back after this quick timeout.
Bulls fans, remember to follow the show on social media at Bulls Podcast and at bullspodcast.com.
Okay, Wyse, we strung 2 together. The Bulls took on the shorthanded, and by then I mean without Ja Morant, Memphis Grizzlies tonight, leading the game wire to wire and winning with a final score of 106-99. The Bulls finally got their first back-to-back win, but at the expense of Memphis, who is a game worse than the Bulls coming into tonight's action, so we should beat this team. Zach LaVine actually played very well, led all scorers with 25 points and 6 rebounds in 33 minutes. Wendell Carter Jr. continues to be the double-double machine with 16 points and 13 rebounds. Lowry making his slow but steady comeback, chipped in 15 points, going 4 for 8 from 3 and 5 of 9 overall. Chris Dunn and Tomas Satoransky both scored in double figures for the Bulls. Notable in this game, Kobe White going 1 for 8 and ending with just 3 points. He is fun to watch, but Wyse, we are seeing now just how hot and cold Kobe can get with his streaks. He's either on or off, not much in between. What was your impression of this game?
So I thought the Bulls came out of the gate playing very crisp and, controlled basketball. Lowry, he looked great from deep in the first, ending the quarter with, I think he had like 8 points in the first quarter. He came out pretty hot. Zach, he was super high. He scored 10 points in the first quarter. Even Chris Dunn, he poured in a few buckets, as the starting point guard tonight. Denzel, he looked great coming off of the bench, hitting a couple triples and even, playmaking. He showcased some really nice passing skills on a couple occasions. I thought they played, all around nice ball in the first half, but kind of sticking to their normal regime. They kind of gave the Grizzlies far too much breathing room, allowing Valanciunas to go to work down low, which is where he ate most of the night. Although, luckily for the Bulls, neither team was great at preventing turnovers, and Memphis failed to capitalize on the turnovers the Bulls made most of the night. Although they did give us a good scare down, in the fourth quarter, pulling within 1 point with just a few minutes to go in the fourth. But, man, thank goodness Zach was, using his head tonight, forcing fouls from the three-point line, to keep the Bulls afloat. And not to mention Lowry's, three-point shot as a dagger. So that basically sealed the game. So, I mean, the guys, they looked really, really composed, I thought, for a decent amount of the game. Like I said, with Zach LaVine, I thought that he showed me some really, really good things. I thought that with him, I haven't seen him do this much of the other games where he's like pump faking at the 3-point line and actually forcing guys to foul him there. I thought that was a very, very heady move of him tonight, because the Bulls, they were really like scaring me in the fourth quarter, especially when they allowed them to creep in on us. And I was ready to turn almost, because I'm like, all right, here we go again. But,
Yeah.
Zach, he actually did his thing. And like I said, that Laurie dagger really sealed the deal for the game. So it was a pretty nice game overall, man. Chris Dunn, he played fairly decent ball before he fouled out of the game. Wendell Carter Jr. with his double-double, 13 boards, 16 boards, 16 points, So I thought that everybody looked fairly good.
Yeah, Valanciunas, man, what a beast. 32 points in 28 minutes and 13 rebounds to go along with that. He went 12 of 17 and 8 of 10 from the line. What a beast he was today. Jay Crowder, 15 points. Jaren Jackson Jr. had 15 points also. Tyus Jones. Remember, there was some talk about Tyus Jones coming to the Bulls.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, he played 22 minutes, 6 points, went 2 for 7, and had a negative 20 and a plus minus. Not too high on Tyus Jones over there in Memphis, but hey, what are you going to do? John Morant's out, right? It's unfortunate. I would have liked to really seen John Morant tonight, and maybe that's why Kobe didn't get fired up. Who knows? But overall, pretty good game. So do you think what you've seen tonight is Lowry on the mend?
Man, I hope so. I hope that Lowry is like making a turnaround, because in tonight's game, he splashed out. He had 3-point shots. Where did he go? 5 for 9 from the field total. No, he actually hit 4 triples. So, I mean, listen, man, Lauri Markkanen, I'm not really sure what's going on with him right now. And he's had a couple of pretty decent games as of late, where he's not blowing you away necessarily, but he's coming along pretty slowly, and if that's what it's going to take to really get him going, then I'm all for it. So I hope that this is just his way of like slowly but surely coming back into his own.
Yeah, I do too. I hope he makes his way. I'm really sick of hearing all these rumors that are flying around, and we'll talk about that in our next segment. But overall, good win by the Bulls. At least we got back-to-backs. With the schedule coming up, I don't really know how much we can do. I mean, I guess we could win 3 in a row because we get Golden State coming up, right?
Next, we got Golden State again?
Yeah. Friday.
As long as Boylan doesn't get out-coached, we should get that W.
Okay. It's at the UC, so, we got the hometown going on. So we'll see. We will definitely see. So, all right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be coming right back to talk about some Bulls rumors, some Jim Boylan quotes, and all the meat and potatoes that you tuned into the podcast for right after this. Hey, if you're not subscribed to the Bulls Podcast on YouTube, just go to youtube.com/Bulls Podcast. Remember to ring that notification bell so that every time we've got a new podcast coming out, you are notified.
Oh, shit, my bad. You wanted me to come in?
Yeah, you're supposed to say and like our shit,
My bad.
Like us. Give us a thumbs up. Come on. Subscribe. Follow us. Please.
Say follow my lead.
Yeah. Okay.
Space.
That's it. That's the commercial. Okay, Wyse. It's State of the Bulls time. We're going to talk about a quote here from Jim Boylan. As a message to Bulls fans, we have a young, competitive team that is working and learning. I understand your frustration with not winning more, but this is a team that is improving and trying and caring. Jim Boylan.
Listen, man.
Does that make up for it for you, Wyse, in your heart and in your mind and in your soul?
No one is disputing the fact that, the players are playing hard and actually care out there. That's not the issue. Yes, we've won our last 2 games. Give Boylan some credit for that. But the reason the fan base has been pissed so far is mainly due to the stuff that he says and the fact that the Bulls were losing games they definitely should have won. The latest one being against the team with the worst record in the league at the time in the Warriors. There was no way we should have lost to Draymond Green and a bunch of rec league guys, which is basically what they were out there. I don't think I can name their starting lineup for that game. Like,
yeah,
outside of Draymond Green. So, I mean, that's the reason why the fan base was livid when it comes to Jim Boylen. And, like, he's telling us something that we already know. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So, I'll tell you, I don't know, man. You notice he says, but this is a team that is improving and trying and caring, but not him, not a coaching staff. So good dodge there, Jimmy B. All right. So, okay, well, let's move on. Another thing in the rumor, we need like a rumor mill segment intro or something, the rumor mill. And, we'll figure it all out. Production in post. We'll do it in post. Lowry on the trade block all over social media. Have you seen this fury of these fools that want to trade Lowry right now?
Not at all. I'm not even really trying to entertain that. That just sounds silly.
Yeah.
Have you seen that on Twitter or something?
Oh yeah. Seen it. Heard it on a podcast. I'm not going to name it.
Wow.
I've seen a prominent podcaster and also one of the three Bulls outsiders that we don't know.
Okay.
He's saying something like that too, and I don't know, man.
In relation to what? Do what with it? I mean,
I don't know.
Lowry for what?
That's the thing. What are you going to get for him? You've already given up so much. I don't get it.
No, I don't see that. That's the problem with a lot of fans too. I think that sometimes we just overreact and just try to jump out of the plane without a parachute too quickly. You know what I mean? Because that really doesn't make any sense. I mean, we're only just over 20 games into the season, and I mean, he's definitely, he hasn't been impressive to say the least, but I mean, still, you don't give up on a guy who actually Lowry has a ceiling. No, he's just in a rut, and sometimes players go through this, but I'm not ready to be done with him just yet. No.
Yeah, he's a poor man's Pau Gasol. That's what he is right now. I said it. I said it.
He with a lot better athleticism, or at least before. I mean, lately, I guess you can't compare his athleticism to Gasol's, but he has more in the tank than that.
I'm talking about Bulls Pau Gasol, right?
Yeah,
so Bulls Pau Gasol was a double machine.
He was. I'm just meaning in terms of athleticism,
and he could pass the ball way better than Lowry could too.
True enough. Yeah.
All right, next rumor. Jerry, the owner, going to clean house and start by telling Gar and his assistant to get out. What do you think of this rumor?
Right. So this one is a piece from Joe Cali, right? Like that's what you're talking about, right?
Yep, exactly.
Like, so this is one of the very few instances where I would say, they're wrong about this one in regards to why Gar should be fired, because it really doesn't make any sense. Out of all of the other, umpteen years Gar has been with the team and has made mistakes, far worse mistakes, they now choose the year when he actually does some things right, at least considering the position the Bulls are in, meaning we aren't an attractive marquee free agent destination or whatever, but seeing how, he's the GM, we're supposed to give him credit for moves that are made, like trades, free agent signings, etc., which, in the past offseason, most of us in Bulls Nation were pleased, with the acquisitions we received in Sato, Thad, and I mean, some of us even got a little excited to have another big outside of Lowry who could stroke it from deep in Luke Cornett, right? So, I mean, now obviously Cornett, he hasn't really turned out the way we hope, but I mean, I would say we made good on 2 out of the 3. Saddle and Thad Young are like serviceable vets, and they have made contributions to the team this year for the most part.
Stop right there on Thad Young, because I want to talk about something about Thad.
Mm-hmm.
Shekinah Young who I hope to get on this podcast, quite frankly, because I've got kind of a conversation going with her on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
If you talk smack on Twitter about Thad Young, his wife Shekinah will bust your ass.
What?
Oh my God. she will retweet you and call your ass out. Oh man.
So have you have you tweeted at her or talked to her or anything?
Yeah. I asked her if she wanted to be on the show. She's like, I don't really do that stuff.
You did tell me that was a little earlier in the season, right?
Yeah. Right before the season started, I asked, and she's like, I don't really do that stuff, but maybe, And but I never seen anybody do that before. Like, okay,
like she just calling out like regular fans.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go there right now. I gotta get on this. I'm sorry, listeners, that I have to do this online.
Nice, do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Even today, somebody's like, I don't know, your man's been missing layups all game. And she's like, it happens. Show me a perfect player.
True.
She answers everybody.
Oh, man.
Y'all can't. Somebody wrote, y'all can't tell me Thaddeus Young is good. She wrote 13 seasons of reasons, my boy.
Hey, yo, no, we got to get her on the pod.
Yeah.
I love to hear her on the pod. For real. Yeah. That's how you take up for your man. For real.
Yeah.
Like she legit going to bat for Thad. That's what's up, man. That's a real one.
Yeah, somebody else. Thaddeus Young was a terrible signing. He's old and slow. She wrote back, you would have been a better signing there? Like the crying laugh.
Oh, nah, bitch. So she got her hands full. She definitely got a job. I mean, coming into all of the trolls and all that.
That's like some mess my wife would do, man. That's hilarious. So, yeah, we're going to try and get her on the pod, but, man. Okay, so continue. Thad Young. Yeah, we love Thad Young. We love Thad Young, and we're going to tweet that we love Thad Young. We need Shekinah to be on the show.
For sure. Make sure Shekinah knows that we got love for Thad Young over here. I mean, like I was saying, like Thad Young has, he's been his solid self, like his all-around solid self, him and Thaddeus. So, I mean,
yep.
Like it's not a case of like, horrible decisions by guard. I mean, heck, even grabbing Otto Porter Jr. last season and only having to give up a player they wanted to get rid of anyway was a damn good
I'm not giving up on Corn Dog. Dude, I'm not giving up on Cornette right now either. No way.
Me neither. I mean, look, but would you not say that it was a good move to put Gafford in over him?
Yes.
I think the problem is Boylan is using Cornette the wrong way. I think Cornette is one of those specialty big men. So you have Wendell Carter Jr. and Gafford in there for the bulk of the minutes. But I think you should use a guy like Luke Cornette as like a special weapon, kind of thing, where like to throw him in there to give the defense a different look. Like catch him off guard because he's a big that can shoot from deep, and he would just give you a quick scoring punch. He actually has some length as well. I think you can use that too. So, I mean, I just think that he's being used the wrong way. If he get like 8 to 10 minutes a game or something like that, just in spots or whatnot, I think he look a lot better.
That's what I'm saying. And also, I think that they should use him a little more when they have, a different matchup going on, because he could catch so many guys off a mismatch and put it in that it's ridiculous with his height. I know that he just had surgery, so let the man recover with his sinus surgery. I'm sure that sucks right now, trying to huff up and down the court with, with your sinuses all messed up. And, I hope he's recovering nicely from that. And it's going to be interesting to see how he gets used as as time goes on here. And I hope that our guys get healthy. I hope Chandler Hutchinson gets back pretty soon. Otto Porter, I don't know what's going on with him. I know he's got an MRI coming up here. Yeah. And I'm anxious to see if he can get back on the thing or not. I don't even know if he's practicing or what the heck's going on, or if he's even shooting.
I haven't seen anything in regards to Otto either. But even like back to Cornette, man, like even once he gets back, and I think like he's just used so wrong. Like even on the defensive end, like trying to have him guard some guards off of pick and rolls, like he gets burned every time.
Yeah.
And like Luke Cornette is a 7-footer who's like super slow actually, but like his strength on defense is his length. So just keep him under the basket, play zone when he's out there. Like that. Why are you?
He's not the worst 7-footer the Bulls have ever had. Dave Corzine comes to mind, and we need another Luke Longley. We need a huge Australian guy that just wants to party and play ball. Where's that been? The last Australian we had was Cameron Bairstow, and he wasn't that great.
Oh wow, Cameron Bairstow! Wow, you just dug that name up. I forgot.
It was only a couple years ago, bro.
I know, but he never played.
It was in the Taj Gibson, Cameron Payne trade.
Nah, dude was garbage. Just straight. I don't know how he even made it to the league.
Yeah.
No, what were we talking about, man? Gar. This Gar.
So they're saying this. They're saying, I've heard rumors of Doug Collins in this mix twice. I've heard Doug Collins is going to be the new GM. I've heard Doug Collins is going to be the coach. I don't think Doug Collins is going to be the coach. I don't think he wants to do that.
No.
I think maybe GM.
I don't even know if he's going to be well, he possibly could be, but so I don't know, man. With this whole thing, it seems super fishy to me. Like the timing is just super weird. Like this talk of frustration with Gar from Reinsdorf just seems to be nothing more than, a thing where who's going to be the fall guy. Like I was on the Bulls Gold podcast a few days ago where I believe it was Salim who brought to my attention the Bulls numbers are down for ticket sales this year. They're like 6th in the league for season ticket sales and 22nd league-wide in arena capacity, meaning, there are a lot of empty seats during home games. So yeah,
tonight they announced as 15,000 in attendance.
Right, when it feels
in a 20,000 seat arena.
Exactly. It feels 22,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so that's the thing. Like, this sounds like it's a thing where Reinsdorf, like all this talk of him all of a sudden, making some noise about being livid and all that. He's not pissed at Gar. He's not pissed about the team's underperformance or anything like that. It's really because of, it's really affecting his bottom line, finally affecting his bottom line. And listen, if that is what it takes to, make some real changes within this franchise, then I hope we drop even lower in ticket sales, because this is the first time we've heard even a smidget about anybody being on a hot seat outside of coaches, of course. But, yeah. I mean, if this report is true, they're not fooling anyone with it, because the only one to point the finger at outside of the players is Boylan when it comes to, like, whose fault it is that they've been looking like this season.
Yeah. Hey man, that's 5,000 people that aren't going to games dropping $100 on food and souvenirs and beer and all that, right?
Yes, and Reinsdorf is feeling it, and that's the only reason we're hearing this.
Yeah, I know. So, all right, well, that's the rumor mill. We're going to close the rumor mill right now, and next week we're going to talk about Chris Dunn, and we might actually have a surprise for next week too. So we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to predict the next week's games right after this. Okay, let's predict the next few games this coming week. Last week we just kind of, I don't know, we were pretty accurate, but we sucked. I thought Golden State, we had it in the bag for sure, but I wasn't expecting what
Yeah, we both did.
Ass whipping that we got that game. So anyway, Golden State coming back to the United Center Friday, December 6th. Who you got in this one?
I'm scared, man. I'm going to say the Bulls, though. I'm going to say we're going to get a W.
All right. Me too. Dubs. That makes 3 wins in a row. But then the Bulls travel Sunday. Yep. Bulls on Sunday travel to Miami in the American Airlines Arena
to
face Jimmy Butler, and the winning streak is going to come to a halt from my side, and I'm going to say a big loss. What do you think?
Mark me down for an L too. I think Jimmy is going to come in and kill us.
All right. In a back-to-back, they will then come back home to the United Center on Monday, December 9th versus the Toronto Raptors in Chicago. Who you got?
Toronto. W.
All right.
Toronto.
And then we've got a Wednesday, December 11th game, and that's probably when we're going to be doing the next podcast, at the United Center versus the Atlanta Hawks, who are spiraling downward. Jabari Parker and the Atlanta Hawks, I might add. Who you got for this one?
We can take them. Bulls.
Oh, the comeback. Okay. I also will pick a win. So that's going to make 1, 2, and 2. We are both locked in at 2 and 2 for the next week. So good luck to us. All right. We are going to take one last quick break and close it out right after this. Hey everybody, remember we are a new show and we do need your support in social media. We made it really simple to find us with some special redirect links. You can find us at Bulls Podcast on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, and go to bullspodcast.com/Facebook to get tied into our Facebook group. And if you'd like to subscribe to the show, we are on Apple Podcasts at bullspodcast.com/Apple, on Stitcher, bullspodcast.com/Stitcher, and on Spotify at bullspodcast.com/Spotify. All right, you can follow Wyse Black on Twitter at @radical_creator, on Instagram at @radical_creator, and on YouTube, you can just search for Wyse Black. Me, you can find at Marcus Couch on Instagram and on Twitter. Everything show related at Bulls Podcast and at bullspodcast.com. Got something cool that we're working on for next week. Hopefully it's going to happen. Not going to reveal it until it's actually in the can. So, Wyse, what's your thoughts going into next week?
I really hope that we continue this winning streak that we're on. I kind of doubt it, although I'm not trying to be pessimistic about the team, but just kind of being real with myself, not trying to get my hopes up too high. But all in all, man, we got a W today, so I'm feeling good, feeling damn good. And thank all of the people for continuing to listen to us.
All right. Until next time, thank you for listening, everyone. Go Bulls.
Go Bulls.
Hey, Bulls fans. This is your Bulls championship announcer, Ray Clay, saying so long, everybody. Go Bulls.